Welcome to Fantasy Audiobook, Dark Lord, My Recruitment 10,000 Times the Crit. Chapter 21. Certainly, for Chin Yi, the vice chairman of the Lord Association, it's none of his business at all. He only cares how many source crystals he can get from this wave of dark creatures. It seems that the other side does not dare to come to trouble me. After waiting for a while, he found that after the other party expanded to that level, there was no movement. Obviously, he was shocked by that group of dark creatures. At this time, Chin Yi still didn't know who the other party was. He didn't care either. Time passed bit by bit. Soon, Dark Decoy only had 15 minutes left, and around his territory, the ground was full of sparkling origin crystals. Due to the increasing number of dark creatures dying in his domain. So, high-grade dark creatures appear more and more frequently. Up to now, there have been 2 elite-level dark creatures and an overseer-level dark creature. He was directly pressed to death by Chin Yi's attendant army. A recruitment book was lost. A seal of breaking the fog. There is also a squire equipment, not bad. Chin Yi directly led Akasha in the melee and helped him pick up the things. It's a pity that this squire equipment requires squire level 7 to be equipped. It is a 2-star equipment. Assassination Heart 2-star attendant equipment, assassin only. Attack plus 40, attack speed plus 10. Equipment requirements, level 7. Assassin's gear. Now Chin Yi doesn't have any assassins, so he can put it in the warehouse for now. During the spawning period, Chin Yi also commanded a total of 8 civilians to build various structures in the Earl Dervish territory. Training field cost 10 source crystals to build, and send a civilian who is proficient in domestication to domesticate the 7 sheep brought back from the neighboring territory. Attendants and subordinates have to eat. However, not long after they were recruited, Chin Yi's subordinates were still full of energy. Of course, the food still has to be prepared in advance. After raising 7 sheep, goat milk can be provided, which can provide food for 21 people. In the dark world, animals like sheep, as well as source crystal ore and the like, are all resources that are not depleted. As long as you have it, there will be output, and it will continue to produce. Now in my territory, there are 3 attendants, 8 civilians, 3 soldiers, 4 special units. A total of 18 people. 7 sheep are enough to provide food. And these 7 sheep can also produce some wool every day, which can be used to make 1-star servant armor. Attribute is not very good, but it is better than nothing. Equipped is better than no equipment. After building the taming farm, Chin Yi went on to have the civilians build a barracks. The barracks was where the soldiers rested. As usual, 10 source crystals can be built, and each barrack can live in 16 people. After the soldiers and civilians are tired, they can return to the barracks to rest to restore their energy. Then there is a wing room built with 100 source crystals. This is a place for the servants to rest. The environment is much better than the barracks. There are 4 rooms in a wing. For the time being, it was enough for Chin Yi's attendant. Then, there are the dining room for cooking, the craftsman workshop for making equipment, the school field for speeding up training, and so on. All these basic buildings were built without spending much source crystal. Just a little cumbersome. After Chin Yi finished building the basic building, he found that the middle of his Earl Dervish territory had almost become a small village. Much more pleasing to the eye than before. Lord level 5 can only build school grounds. Out of the school grounds, the time to train a soldier has been shortened from 60 minutes to 30 minutes. This is so much fun. When the Lord is level 10, these buildings can be upgraded to the 2nd level, and the effect will be better. For example, with the 2nd order school field, the training speed of soldiers will be faster. Just then, Lord, a cavalry is running over. The crisp and lovely voice of the little fox Sudaji came over. Chin Yi looked quickly. Sure enough, I saw a cavalryman of another lord, riding a horse, barely passing through a group of dark creatures, and rushed over. Just looking at the speed, you know that this cavalry level is not high. Because the cavalry is upgraded, normal has a speed bonus. Killed. Chin Yi Solician's order. ... Let me be someone else's subordinate. This is absolutely impossible. At this time, Lin Mengyu re-entered the dark world, gritted her teeth, she decided. No matter what, try it out and fight your way. She decided to use the second method, directly attacking Wanglong. Go directly north and continue to expand the territory. So, a knight who was trained as a soldier rushed directly to Qinyi. Left to the left. The range of the opponent's output of dark creatures is in the middle. Lean to the left, the other party will definitely not have time to intercept. Lin Mengyu looked at her cavalry expectantly. She gave a seal of breaking the fog to the cavalry, and let the cavalry go to expand the territory. She felt that she could avoid Su Daji's attack range. However, when the cavalry approached, in the darkness that Lin Mengyu can't see, Su Daji raised the small umbrella in her hand. Demon Flash. With a flash, it flashed 100 meters to the side. After 2 seconds, another ghost flash, another 100 meters distance flashed. Much faster than that cavalry. Just when the cavalry wanted to throw out the seal of breaking the fog in his hand to help Lin Mengyu expand his territory. Demon Umbrella Arrow. In the dark, a blood-red demon umbrella arrow swept out. Hit the cavalry directly. -305. A skill spike. That iron-armored cavalry fell down together with their horses. The seal of the broken mist, which he grabbed in his hand, then fell to the ground. What? Killed? Lin Mengyu was far away, watching his cavalrymen being hit by a red magic arrow and falling down. He was a little shocked. Other side. Just killed monsters in the middle area. Why did it suddenly run to the left? This speed is too fast. Again. Try again. Come on together. She called her overseer-level squire and the remaining cavalry unit together. Lin Mengyu is very calm now. She wanted to seize the last chance to find Qinyi's Earl Dervish territory. Then, she handed the seal of breaking mist to the cavalry, and asked the cavalry and the squire, one to the left and one to the right, to rush to the war territory again. The other party will definitely kill my attendant first. If that's the case, my cavalry can take the opportunity to expand the territory. Are the two cavalrymen coming together? Qinyi had already arrived at the sentry tower at this time. Looking at the two cavalrymen from a distance, one left and one right rushed over, which surprised him. It seems, the other party has some ideas. Qinyi couldn't figure out for the moment which cavalry on the other side was wearing the seal of breaking the mist. But, wouldn't it be good to just kill both of them? Akasha, go straight out and kill the cavalry on the left. Daji, you're going to kill the overseer-level attendant on the right. Qinyi ruthlessly ordered. Then, from Lin Mengyu's perspective. In the dark, a beautiful woman with snow-white wings flew out of the darkness, holding a long sword and a silver shield, and rushed straight to the cavalry holding the seal of breaking the mist. This, Emperor-level servants, lords can view the territories they have vision with Solucian. So, when Akasha flew out of the darkness in Lin Mengyu's eyes, even if the two sides were more than 1,000 meters away, she could clearly see Akasha's appearance and the logo on her head. Imperial Servant. This scene shocked Lin Mengyu. The difference is too big. This can't be beat at all. No wonder he can slaughter dark creatures. But this Akasha is a commander. And the one who just killed my cavalry should be a mage. Retreat. Back off. Don't go. Lin Mengyu burst into tears. This wave of her is to let her attendants and cavalry go directly to their lives. Other side. It's so strong. Qinyi only showed a servant, which directly caused Lin Mengyu to completely lose his fighting spirit. But, seeing that Akasha's speed was much faster than her cavalry, it was obvious that neither her cavalry nor her attendants could escape. This made her anxious. Originally, she still felt that she would die if she died, and she had to lower a talent level and start over. But now, she was a little reluctant to bear her overseer-level attendant. Even if she has the money to start the game again, the A-level talent is barely usable. She can't guarantee her second start, and she can still recruit an overseer-level attendant. No S-rank talent. There are no overseer-level squires. If she starts again, will she be guaranteed to develop? My dad said. It seems right. The variables of restarting are even greater. If I am not careful, I will completely lose the possibility of rising in the dark world. If it is reopened and then destroyed, the A-level talent will be reduced to B-level, and there will be no hope. Can't reopen. It must not be reopened. Since this lord even has emperor-level servants, then according to what my dad said, I can completely pass the early stage under his protection. Lin Mengyu thought quickly. At this time, her pretty face was already sweating. She realized that Zhang was still old and hot. Her dad has already detected everything. After quickly figuring it out, Lin Mengyu finally made up her mind. She chose to let the foremost overseer-level attendant pass the word. My lord, an S-level talent requires subordinate negotiation. My lord, an S-level talent requires subordinate negotiation. ... Akasha's long sword almost fell on the cavalry. She and Su Daji stopped when she heard the commander-in-chief of the other party shout. Oh, ask what talent it is. Qin Yi narrowed his eyes. The lords of both sides are out of sight of the other side, and let the attendant spread the word. Our lord asked, what talent does your lord have? The queen of soaring in the sky, Akasha, this beautiful attendant with dual wingbeat unfolded, suspended in midair, holding a long sword, arrogant, like a judge. S-level talent, really qualified to be Qin Yi's subordinate. After all, there are only a handful of SS-level talents, and it is not so easy to meet them. The subordinate Qin Yi wanted to recruit before was only S rank. Certainly, he needs S-class slaves that are useful to him, or would rather not. After all, the number of subordinates of the Dark Lord is limited. Currently, Qin Yi can only have at most one slave. So naturally, this quota cannot be used casually. Once he gets a subordinate, Qin Yi can get the opponent's lord talent effect. As for the rest, it requires both parties to negotiate. The terms and conditions of lords and subordinates are negotiated by both parties. Lord, do you want to say something? The overseer-level knight attendant asked Lin Mengyu in a nervous private chat. Go ahead. Lin Mengyu gritted his teeth. If you don't tell what S-level talent it is, the other party won't be tempted at all. Our lord is an S-level talent, 10 times the source crystal. The drop of monsters and the source crystals produced by the territory are all 10 times. When the overseer-level knight squire said these words, all over, silence, 10 times the source crystal. Monster drops, territory output, all 10 times the source crystal. No doubt, this S-level talent is very useful to Qin Yi. Once the effect of this lord talent is obtained, his rising speed will be even more terrifying. I have to say, Qin Yi was moved. Such a subordinate of an S-rank talent. How could he not be moved? But he can't show it. After all, to gain an advantage in negotiations, you cannot be too proactive. Then, war territory sky. According to Qin Yi's words, Akasha said lightly, I'm sorry, our lord, there is no shortage of source crystals for the time being. This is what Qin Yi thinks. Only in this way. In order to gain a favorable position in the negotiation. But he obviously underestimated each other. The overseer-level knight attendant glanced at Akasha in the sky, and said nervously, our lord said, if you really don't lack source crystals, this emperor-level attendant will not only be level 2, it should be level 5. Quote. Qin Yi was silent, broken, exposed. No way. It seems, it can only be negotiated according to the normal process. 5 minutes later, a subordinate clause is drawn up by both parties and generated by the system. 1. All subordinate source crystal income will be automatically owned by the lord. 2. The lord distributes a certain amount of source crystals to the subordinates every day according to the subordinate's lord level, as pocket money to ensure the normal development of the subordinates. 3. The lord does not interfere with the domestic affairs and military development of the subordinates in peacetime. Note 1. The lord will get the subordinate lord talent effect, and gain the vision of all subordinate territories. Note 2. The lord has the obligation to protect the subordinates. The two notes are mandatory requirements of the subordinate clause and cannot be changed. As long as the terms are signed, Qin Yi can get 10 times the S-rank lord talent effect of Yuanjing. Other things, Qin Yi doesn't care. It's about how many source crystals are given to the subordinates every day. As pocket money, the other party bites them to death and requires, lord level * 10,000 inches source crystals. That is to say, the number of subordinates is as many as 10,000. It can be said that the lion opened his mouth. So Qin Yi calculated. Still blood earned. It seems that the other party wants a lot, but as long as Qin Yi gets the other party's S-level talent effect, such a little source crystal is really just pocket money. This time, the dark bait is over in 10 minutes. Sign a contract as soon as possible to get the effect of S-level talent. You can still eat 10 times the increase in 10 minutes. Originally, there were around 20,000 or 30,000 source crystals dropped in 30 minutes. But with that S-level talent effect, you can harvest 10,000 source crystals in the remaining 10 minutes. And, Dark Decoy, this thing is for each lord and can only be used once a day. When the other party becomes Chinyi's subordinate, Chinyi can completely let the other party drive once. As far as now, just with the level 0 and 1 dark bait, Chinyi will earn 300,000 to 400,000 yuan crystals in blood, and give the opponent 20,000 as pocket money. It's nothing at all. I have to say, Chinyi is invincible with this, 10 times the source crystal, S-level talent. And if you pull it out alone, 10 times the source crystal talent is not a combat talent. Although it develops quickly, it is easy to fall into a disadvantage when encountering those powerful combat talents. Because, the strong combat power also means that the source crystal comes quickly. For example, Chinyi origin crystals can be earned by slaughtering dark creatures. In terms of source crystal acquisition speed, originally, it was hundreds of times faster than ordinary lords. With Lin Mengyu's talent, it is equivalent to changing from 100 times to 1,000 times, and the development is faster. Next, that is, the two parties have to sign a subordinate treaty face to face. You have to see each other for this. Our lord said, let you find her, so many dark creatures, she can't come. The overseer level attendant knight, while talking, ran around the field. No way, he can't run. On both sides of this war territory, dark creatures of level 6 to 9 are constantly being refreshed, and even this overseer level attendant can't beat it. Once beat up, there is only a dead end. So, just run. Let him come to me, and I will send an attendant to pick him up. Chinyi was too lazy to move, he didn't even know whether the lord of the other party was male or female. Directly greeted the little fox Dodgy. Finally, for the first time, this epic attendant appeared in the sight of other lords. Holding a red umbrella, she stepped out in one step, and it was 100 meters. All dark creatures can't get close to her. The flaming cloak and her super high attack power can instantly kill even dark creatures of level 6 to 9. Under Chinyi's orders, the little fox Su Dodgy, like a Pokemon, quickly approached the dark area on the opposite side. And this time, Lin Mengyu was already shocked. History, Epic Servant, Nanette's Demon Fox Su Dodgy. This name appeared on the top of the little fox's head, making Lin Mengyu completely stunned. She had never heard of the name. However, the epic attendant, needless to say, is also an extremely terrifying existence. Just look now, this little fox is only level 3. But the surrounding dark creatures of level 6 to 9 couldn't even get close to her, and they were all killed by her. Is this the epic servant? Soon, Xiao Dodgy walked to the edge of darkness on the opposite side. Chinyi adjusted the attack mode. Otherwise, the damage of the flaming cloak will kill the opponent's lord in one fell swoop. Immediately after, under Chinyi's gaze, a beautiful Stephanie in a long pink dress came out of the darkness. Is her? Chinyi was surprised. He really did not expect that after negotiating for so long, he actually knew the other party. Certainly, strictly speaking, it's not really an acquaintance. Just know who the other party is, that's all. With the help of Xiao Dodgy, Lin Mengyu finally walked out of the darkness and appeared in Chinyi's field of vision. The two women walked towards Chinyi. Along the way, the dark creatures on both sides kept surging, but they were all eliminated by the little fox Su Dodgy. Melee dark creatures, directly burned to death by the flame cloak. The dark creatures that attacked at a distance were raised by her with a small umbrella, ordinary or demon umbrella arrows, which were also instant kills. Uninterrupted all the way. Compared to Lin Mengyu's squire, the warlord level squire knight was chased by dark creatures and ran away. Strong and weak judgment, a distance of 1 kilometer, to Lin Mengyu, seemed as far away as passing through a city. Finally, she came to the edge of darkness in her eyes. Ahead is darkness, she didn't know what was ahead. But, in Chinyi's field of vision, this girl has come to him. He didn't waste time. After all, the earlier he signed the affiliation contract, the earlier he obtained the opponent's S-rank talent effect. The surrounding dark creatures will drop 10 times more source crystals. So, he stepped forward. Under Lin Mengyu's vision, he walked out of the darkness like this. When she saw Chinyi clearly, There was a stunned expression on the nervous pretty face. It's you. She is stupid. On the way here, she guessed for a long time, what kind of person would the other lord be? It's fine if it's normal. If it's a sleazy guy. She felt like she might as well reopen. Obviously, Qin is not a wretched man, and he is even handsome. Only, why would it be him? Yes, it's me. Qin nodded, looked at her and said, I didn't expect it to be you. Lin Mengyu was speechless for a while. She stared at Qin for a few seconds. She blushed a little and said, since we are all classmates, how about getting along peacefully? Form an alliance and develop together. At this time, hope emerged in her heart. Maybe, it really works. After all, she is also Zhongdu Lord University, this year's new school flower. Although someone else gave her the title, it is enough to prove her good looks and figure. Pity. In Qin eyes, what looks, what figure? What school flower? All this does not exist. In comparison, is the little fox Daji not fragrant? As long as the attendant is upgraded to 3 stars, it can be brought back to reality, and it is no different from the real person. Stop talking nonsense and sign a contract. Qin threw out the subordinate contract drawn up by the system on the spot. Quote. Lin Mengyu's fantasy was shattered. No way. In the end, both parties agreed to the agreement. Subordinate treaties. Effective. Open black lens bracket. You have obtained the subordinate, Dream Lord. Close black lens bracket. You have obtained the Lord Talent effect from the subordinate, 10 times the source crystal. Close black lens bracket. 10 times the source crystal, S-level Lord Talent. When you kill a monster, drop 10 times the source crystal. When you produce source crystals in your territory, get 10 times the source crystals. Close black lens bracket. Nailed it. Qin finally breathed a sigh of relief. At the same time, when the affiliation treaty was signed, he gained all Lin Mengyu's territorial vision. Only 2. Did you bump into me in the first expansion? How unlucky. Qin couldn't help shaking his head. Certainly, in a sense, being his subordinate is not sure whether it is bad luck or luck. Okay, Daji, send her back. Qin waved his hand. That, Lin Mengyu did not leave, but looked at him with a little hope, a little nervous and a little anticipation in his eyes. Quote. Qin asked a question. That, pocket money. Lin Mengyu blushed a little. Now all her income must be handed over to Qin, all sources of source crystal. Just pocket money once a day. Now her lord level is level 2. According to the contract, she can get 20,000 source crystals. She is still looking forward to it. Go back first and wait. Qin asked Su Daji to send people back first. He didn't say yes, he didn't say no, and he didn't say when to give. It made Lin Mengyu feel a little uneasy. But seeing that Qin was busy defending the dark creatures, she didn't bother him. Obediently, under the protection of Su Daji, she returned to her own territory. When Lin Mengyu left, Qin took a step back and returned to his Earl Dervish territory. The surrounding dark creatures rushed out just like before, and were killed by his attendants. But the difference is, now every dark creature is killed, it is 10 times the drop. In the Dark World, the source crystal was the one that restricted the development speed of the Dark Lord in the early stage. As long as there are enough source crystals, even raising to level 50 at one time is a matter of minutes. Certainly, if only the level is increased and the combat power cannot keep up, then the dark creatures that invaded from the edge of darkness cannot be solved, which would be a tragedy. So, combat power must increase with the level. It's cool now. Qin looked at the surrounding dark creatures, and if he killed anyone, he would drop 60 or 70 source crystals. Killing a group is 700 or 800 source crystals. In all directions, dark creatures are killed almost every second. This feeling is impossible for even those dozens of lords to experience. After all, this is a super god level talent, and the effect of adding S-level talent is superimposed. Without Qin own super god level talent, even if he has 10 times the effect of the source crystal, he would not dare to open a level 1 dark bait. Can't beat it at all. Lin Mengyu returned to his territory with his attendants and cavalry. Her overseer level squire is named, the Unknown Knight. After coming back, she squatted on the edge of her Earl Dervish territory, looking at the darkness where Qin disappeared. Qinyi has the vision of all her territories. But she doesn't have the vision of Qinyi's territory. So, when Qinyi went back, she couldn't see Qinyi anymore. At this time, the schoolgirl was a little tired because she became someone else's attendant. Nameless Knight. Lord, please cheer up. Lin Mengyu was weak. How can you cheer me up? Unknown Knight. It is our luck to be a subordinate of the Shadow Fiend Lord. You see, the pocket money that the Shadow Fiend Lord has promised you is more than what we have grown ourselves. Quote question mark. Quote. Lin Mengyu was a little powerless to complain. Your servant seems to have a problem with your mind. Nameless Knight. And with the protection of the Shadow Demon Lord, we don't need to work too hard, just lie flat. Quote exclamation mark. Quote. Lin Mengyu was puzzled. My servant, there is something wrong with the designation. Forget it, maybe it's a good thing. Don't worry about it. I'll go out and come back later, you guard our territory. Lin Mengyu thought of something, and decided to go back to Blue Star first and tell others about the situation. At least he had to tell his father. Don't worry, Lord. The unknown knight wore iron armor and rode on a black horse. He said solemnly, if the territory is in danger, I will immediately ask the Shadow Demon Lord for help. Quote. Lin Mengyu thought, why don't you just give this attendant to Qinyi? Qinyi ignored Lin Mengyu. 10 minutes later. The duration of this level 1 dark decoy is finally over. As the dark vortex dissipated, around the edge of darkness, there are finally no more groups of dark creatures gushing out. His territory, calm down again. Clean up the battlefield. Qinyi commanded the squires, civilians and soldiers to clean the battlefield together. In this wave, there are too many source crystals falling on his territory. If only civilians were to pick it up. Then you have to pick up the year of the monkey and the horse moon. Even so, it took him more than 10 minutes to pick up everything. In the second half, 2 elite-level dark creatures were also refreshed around, and another mist-breaking seal was dropped, as well as a 2-star attendant equipment. Golden Red Armor, 2-star attendant equipment, Universal Armor. Health plus 300, Defense plus 30. Equipment requirements, Level 6. This equipment is not bad. It's a pity that Qinyi's attendants are not yet level 6, and for the time being, they can only throw them into the warehouse to eat ashes. Fortunately, this wave, what he is most looking forward to is not this equipment, but a massive amount of source crystals. The statistics came out. A total of 124,000 source crystals. Qinyi's eyes lit up. This source crystal, replaced by other new lords, even if it develops smoothly, it will take more than a month to get it. Some lords in the 30s and 40s can only harvest 10 or 20,000 source crystals every day. And this, only 1/3 of the dark bait time has eaten the increase of 10 times the source crystal. If the whole process is increased, the number of source crystals will be even more terrifying. Upgrade. After Qinyi collected so many source crystals, he did not hesitate to upgrade the Nenettle's Demon Fox first. The little fox Sudaji, from level 3 to level 5, consumes 4,900 source crystals. Health, 960 right pointing arrow 1200. Attack, 200 right pointing arrow 240. Defense, 42 right pointing arrow 54. Now his Lord Core is level 5, so the attendant can only be upgraded to level 5 at most. When the little fox Daji rose to level 5, a demon mage she trained also rose to level 5, and her attribute rose sharply. And most importantly, open black lens bracket Nenettle's Demon Fox Sudaji close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket epic level close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket level 5 close black lens bracket. Killing dark creatures. 3555. Kill the enemy. 1. Her total kills finally reached 3,500. This number of kills is commonly known as combat exploits. If you kill elite level, warlord level rivals with such levels, you will get multiple battle credits. Consume the battle merits. You can increase the star rating for the attendants. Every time the attendant's star level is increased, he will gain 100% of the base attribute increase and will also strengthen a random skill. The little fox Sudaji. After these 2 battles to kill the enemy, the battle merits are finally enough to raise the star. In the dark world, killing monsters is certainly not without profit. Killing monsters or enemy troops will not give experience to upgrade your attendants, but you can gain military exploits and make your attendants upgrade to stars. Compared with the upgrade, the improvement brought by the rising star to the attendant is even greater. Consume 3,500 battle exploits. Nanette's demon fox rises to star. Qinyi gave an order. Open black lens bracket. Your attendant, Nanette's demon fox Sudaji, has been upgraded to 1 star. Close black lens bracket. HP 1200. Right pointing arrow 2400. Attack 240. Right pointing arrow 480. Defense 54. Right pointing arrow 108. Skill 2 Demon Flash is strengthened. The cooling time is reduced to 1 second. Close black lens bracket. Servant 0 star to 1 star upgrade is the biggest. All attributes are increased by 100%, which is equivalent to doubling directly, and the effect is terrifying. Strengthen the demon flashing skills. Not bad. Qinyi is also satisfied with this. Demon Flash, originally a flashing skill with a 2-second cooldown, now there is only 1 second of cooldown left, making the little fox more flexible. And when Sudaji was promoted to 1 star, Qinyi looked at her expectantly. The appearance hasn't changed much. I thought I would grow up a bit. It seems that only by improving her grade can it be possible for her to grow up. Qinyi was a little disappointed. Lord, why do you see people like this? The little fox Daji flattened her mouth. It's okay, you're too cute. Qinyi smiled and touched her head. When she was promoted to 1 star, the gap between her and the emperor-level servants had already come out. Wait till later. The gap is getting bigger and bigger. And if you want to be promoted again, you still need 14,000 battle points. The difference is still a little far away. As for Lame Li and Akasha, the military exploits are only in the early 2000s. It's still a long way from the star-raising requirements. Qinyi can only raise them to level 5 first, and each consumes 5,400 source crystals. A total of 10,800 source crystals are consumed. When Lame Li reaches level 3, activate new skills. Skill 2. Swift as the wind. After opening, increase the movement speed by 100% and the rate of fire by 100% for 10 seconds. Cooldown for 20 seconds. Close black lens bracket. A buff contest condition skill, which doubles the movement speed and fire rate after it is activated. When I was just defending against the dark creatures, Lame Li guarded one direction alone, and it was a little difficult, and Akasha was asked to help during the period. If this skill had just been unlocked, this would not have happened at all. And Akasha also unlocked a new skill. Skill 2. Fallen Feather Smash. A heavy blow that falls from the sky, stuns all enemies within 100 meters for 3 seconds, and pulls them to the center of the blow. Close black lens bracket. It's a crowd control skill. With the advantage of being able to fly, drop heavy blows from the sky, directly stun and pull all enemies within 100 meters. This skill has a long cooldown. But in a skirmish, it can completely determine the direction of the war. After these 2 emperor-level servants reached level 5, their health was 880 and 1048, their attack was 184 and 155, and their defense was 40 and 81. I can tell, compared with the little fox Daji who has risen to 1 star, the gap is too big. Daji's HP is 2400, his attack is 480, and his defense has reached 108. This is the effect of increasing the star rating. And the troops trained by the squires, attributes are inherited from the squires themselves in percentage. Qinyi glanced at the demon mage that Daji trained. Take a deep breath. Demon Master, Teacher and Young Master. Open black lens bracket level 5. Close black lens bracket. The rate belongs to Nanette's demon fox Sudaji. Close black lens bracket. Passive units. Spell penetration plus 50. Close black lens bracket. Army skills. Demon Flash, flashing for a distance, cooldown for 3 seconds. Close black lens bracket. Battle attribute. HP 1200, attack 320, defense 54. A troop. The blood volume is higher than that of the emperor-level servants. The attack is far more than the emperor-level servants. Qinyi was stunned. This situation, he really didn't expect it. Mainly, for all the Lord College freshmen like him. Those above the emperor level are basically in the blind spot of knowledge. You don't need to learn at all. The ghost knows that epic servants can train so fiercely. Without any exaggeration, just this demon mage, single-handedly, can smash the territory of countless level 5 Dark Lords. This must not make the little fox work more and train a group of demon mages. So to say, it's time to upgrade the school grounds. It still takes 30 minutes to train a demon mage in the first level school field. Still too slow. And to upgrade the school grounds, you have to upgrade the Lord level first. Most of the other lords who want to upgrade the Lord level are looking ahead, fearing that the source crystal is not enough, and that the combat power is not enough. But now Qin Yi, don't worry about these. He glanced at the number of source crystals he had left, 108,300. More than 100,000 source crystals, this is not a casual flower. Costs 2,500 source crystals. Lord Core level 5 has been raised to level 6. Costs 3,600 source crystals. The Lord Core level 6 has been raised to level 7. Costs 4,900 source crystals. The Lord Core level 7 has been raised to level 8. Costs 6,400 source crystals. The Lord Core level 8 has been raised to level 9. A total of 17,400 source crystals were spent. Lord Core, directly to level 9. Other new lords need a month to complete things, Qin Yi here, less than half a day to do. And it's just the beginning. When the Lord level was raised to level 9, Qin Yi's physical fitness, that is, his personal combat power, also skyrocketed. Directly from 24 points of basic combat power, increased to 54 points. In addition to the 15 points of combat power provided by the Lord's equipment, Hound Boots, he has a total of 69 points of combat power. It only takes 2 seconds to run 100 meters. There are 90,900 source crystals left. When Qin Yi was at level 9 of the Lord Core, he stopped temporarily. Level 10 is a very important level for the Dark Lord. Because, once you reach level 10, the Dark Lord will gain your first special ability. This special ability is closely related to all aspects of the Lord. The more territory, the stronger the servants. The stronger the troops, the special abilities you get are stronger. It depends on the overall strength of the Lord. View current ratings. Qin Yi operates at the core of the Lord and checks directly. Under the current level, your Lord rating is SS level. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Please keep working hard. Close black lens bracket. Hidden information to unlock. Level 10 Lord rating limit is SSS level. Seeing this line of information, Qin Yi was a little surprised. Blue Star so far, the highest rank other lords have received at level 10 is S rank. That is to say, in the past 50 years, other Dark Lords have at most obtained S rank special abilities when they reached level 10. But Qin Yi, it is now SS rated. And he also unlocked a hidden message that no one else at Blue Star has ever discovered. The 10 level Lord rating limit is the SSS level. Then I won't go to the SSS level and then upgrade. But faster. Qin Yi thought about it. Normally, other lords are too developed to develop, so they choose to upgrade to level 10, and try their best to make the first special ability they acquire, with a higher rating. For example, expand the territory to the maximum. Raise all squires to level 9. Equip your servants. Non-stop training of special units, as much as you can train. But these things have a limit to the improvement of the Lord's rating. In the case of a fixed servant level, no matter how much the special arms are trained, they are all cannon fodder, and they can't add much rating at all. Level 9 territory has a maximum of 81 tiles, and it cannot be improved when the limit is reached. The one that most affects the rating of level 10 lords. It's still about talent, including subordinate talent, attendant rank, and development time. The shorter the time it takes to develop to level 10, the higher the rating. So, some lords want to improve their grades by delaying time in development, which is simply a dream. Because the longer the delay, the more severe the rating drop. Dragging and dragging, the situation that the rating does not rise but falls has happened repeatedly. I am a super god level talent, and a subordinate S level talent. 1 epic squire, 2 emperor squires. It's only been a little over 3 hours since I entered the dark world. Get an SS grade straight away. Qin Yi was quite satisfied with his start. His development time has almost been compressed to the limit. Come in for half an hour of dark decoy, then 2 hours of training units, then another half hour of dark decoy. In the end, he also obtained the effect of the S-level subordinate talent. No time wasted at all. Without any link during the period, he will not develop to the current level. For example, if he didn't train the 2-hour unit, he couldn't stop the dark bait behind him. Even with the flame cloak, the little fox Daji couldn't kill all the dark creatures in seconds. In particular, some long-range dark creatures, once they are not destroyed in seconds, gather together, and a wave of concentrated fire can explode the building together with the main core. Great risk. Now we have to rush to the limit rating of the SSS level. Fill up the little fox first. A total of 26,000 source crystals were spent to directly upgrade the little fox Daji from level 5 to level 9. Nanette's Demon Fox Su Daji. Level 5 right pointing arrow 9. HP 2400 right pointing arrow 3360. Attack 480 right pointing arrow 640. Defense 108 right pointing arrow 156. Unlocked skill 3. Protective orbs. Release 5 red orbs. Each red orb can resist any damage 1 time. Cooldown for 10 seconds. There are enough source crystals to be willful. Fill the little fox directly. The 3 combat attributes of health, attack and defense have been completely metamorphosed. On the Squire rankings of the Dark World. Recorded the ranking of all the Dark Lords in each level of the Squires over the past 50 years. For example, level 10 Servant Leaderboard. The recorded data is the data of all the servants at the moment when all the lords just reached level 10. After the lord reaches level 10, no matter how the attendant improves, it will not affect this list. At present, the top 10 level servant is a prince level servant, whose attribute is less than half of Su Daji's. The highest level in the back is only a general level attendant, and it is even more impossible to compare with Su Daji. And the owner of that princely servant. He is one of several extremely secretive SSS level talent owners, and has occupied the top spot on the 10th level attendant list for 37 years. Just like that, in front of Su Daji, she was vulnerable. For 50 years, the world's first. And after Qin filled the little foxes, he checked his lord rating again. Under the current level, your lord rating is SSS level. Lord, please upgrade as soon as possible. Hidden information. Level 10 Lord rating limit is SSS. The moment you see the information. Qin nodded with satisfaction. It's done, relaxed and happy. Since the rating has reached the limit SSS level, Qin naturally has no reason to procrastinate. He glanced at the rank 10 attendant list. In the history of Blue Star, when all Dark Lords reach level 10, their attendant information will be recorded and fixed on this list. Even if you are ranked in the hundreds of millions, others are too lazy to flip your ranking, but you can see your own ranking. Since there is one on the list, it's better to let the 3 of them make the list together. Qin thought for a while. Simply spend the source crystal and raise the 2 emperor level servants, Lame Li and Akasha, to level 9 together. Straight to 2nd and 3rd. Qin then clicked on the core of the Lord. Upgrade. Open black lens bracket. You have consumed 8,100 source crystals. Close black lens bracket. Your Lord core has been upgraded to level 10. Close black lens bracket. Your Lord's personal combat power 69 points. Right pointing arrow 79 points. Close black lens bracket. You have obtained the SSS level special ability, Void Circulation. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Congratulations to your attendant, Nanette's Demon Fox Su Daji, for ranking first on the 10 level attendant list and getting a reward. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Congratulations to your attendant, Queen of Soaring in the Sky, Akasha, who has reached the 2nd place on the 10th level attendant list and received a reward. Close black lens bracket. Congratulations to your squire, One-Eyed Archer, Lame Li, for ranking 3rd on the 10 level squire list and getting a reward. Also at this time, the freshman tactics seminar room of Zhongdu Lord University. Lin Mengyu was already desperate. No matter how she explained it, neither her father Lin Zongguo nor her mentors believed that someone could have epic level and emperor level servants at the beginning of the game. This has never happened before in the history of the Dark World. Lin Waring states, Level 120 Dark Lord, one of the vice presidents of the Gyeongdu Lords Association, has developed for 25 years. In the case of many adventures, I managed to upgrade the strongest servant to an epic level. For many lords below the 100th level, not to mention the epic level, even the emperor level servants, they would not even dare to think about it. Result: Lin Mengyu said that she became someone's subordinate, and the lord started with epic level and emperor level servants. How can that be? Look, everyone, the 10th level servant lord list has been refreshed. All the top 3 have been wiped out. The first epic level, the second and third emperor level. This is completely crushing all the previous servants under the feet. Crazy, whose new lord is so fierce? There are epic level and emperor level servants at the beginning. Lord Shadow Demon, who is this? I hope it belongs to our Eastern Federation, otherwise there will be another big enemy. Seminar outside. The gathered freshmen have been discussing with great excitement. The sound of the discussion spread into the seminar room, causing Lin Zongguo and the 7 freshman tutors to change their expressions. Quickly opened the 10-level attendant list. First place, Nanette's Demon Fox Sudaji. What squire is this? Never heard of that name. The start as an epic squire. I've never heard of it when I grow up. These 3 attendants belong to the Shadow Demon Lord. Who is the Shadow Demon Lord? Seminar room. Lin Zongguo and the 7 freshman mentors all turned their attention to Lin Mengyu, who was on the side. This Shadow Demon Lord is the lord you recognize? Lin Zongguo asked with a solemn expression. Yes. Lin Mengyu nodded and said bitterly, now, believe it. He not only has 1 epic level, but also 2 emperor levels. In fact, she was also a little shocked. She thought that an epic level, an emperor level, was already something she didn't even dare to think about. Result: Qinyi has a 2nd emperor class. There are a total of 3 terrifying servants, directly occupying the top 3 of the 10th level servant list. Ha ha, Lin Zongguo slapped his thigh and laughed. I just said, the daughter I raised has never lied. How could it be possible to lie? His appearance made the 7 freshman tutors around him look helpless. Now I say that my daughter can't lie. Who called the loudest just now, saying that the epic and emperor level openings are impossible? Speaking of which, who is the real identity of this Shadow Demon Lord? Lin Zongguo remembered this and asked Lin Mengyu. As a result, Lin Mengyu shook his head. I don't know his identity either. His name is Shadow Demon Lord. When he signed the affiliation agreement, his whole body was shrouded in darkness. But it is certain that he belongs to our Eastern Federation. Lin Mengyu thought about the words and said, it's better if it's from the East. Lin Zongguo's eyes lit up. Now, we have another great lord rising in the East. Mengyu, Dad takes back what he said before. You can be his subordinate with peace of mind. The conditions are not bad, and you will receive a lot of pocket money every day. Question mark, question mark, question mark. Lin Mengyu looked puzzled. It's okay to be wrong first, then come back to meet someone, and let someone rescue you. When you see that there are epic level and emperor level servants, you can feel at ease as a subordinate of the family. This dad is too real. Just like her attendant. Lin Mengyu did not reveal Qinyi's real identity. She was worried about causing trouble for Qinyi, or even bringing danger. Starting an epic squire, such an existence will create an uproar around the world. And actually, Qinyi is not afraid of revealing his identity. After all, in this Dark Lord era, no one can threaten anyone. If there is something that defies the sky, the Great Lord wants to kill him. He hides directly in the dark world, grows invincible in the dark world and then comes out. What can the other party do to him? In fact, there are still many lords who have stayed in the dark world all their lives. It will never go back to the real world at all. For these lords, the real world has nothing to do with them. Tianxing City, Star Lord University. Zhang Kaishi is yelling. Look, look, the Shadow Demon Lord, the attendants are ranked 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. I just said that someone started the Emperor level, but no one believes it. It's not even just the opening Emperor, this is epic. In front of him, the middle-aged class tutor who had taught him to seek truth from facts before, is now a fool. This middle-aged man, looking at the list of level 10 servants just refreshed. Completely stuck in the sluggish contest condition. Epic start. Start the Emperor class. Is that human being? He has developed for 20 years before being a level 85 lord, and the strongest servant under his command is a prince. As a result, the start was epic, emperor level. This person is more than a person, it is really maddening. Today, this pattern is going to change. The middle-aged man finally could only sigh. He thinks, from now on, it is the world of young people. I just don't know who the Shadow Demon Lord is in reality. Who are the descendants of the two great lords? In his opinion, only two mega lords could give birth to such a terrifying offspring. And in the future, the descendants of Blue Star will be stronger from generation to generation. Too bad he didn't know that. Qin Yi is not the son of a great lord at all. His identity is unremarkable, it's just a traverser. When the list of level 10 attendants was refreshed, Sudaji and the others occupied the top 3. All the blue stars are boiling. Everyone seems to have seen that there is a Dark Lord who is terrifying to the extreme, developing. There are even some countries and organizations that have begun to offer bounties for all information about the Shadow Fiend Lord. Unfortunately, these people can't get any information about the Shadow Fiend Lord at all. Because, under Lin Zongguo's repeated warnings, none of the 7 class instructors in the seminar room would tell the news. As the only slave of the Shadow Fiend Lord now, Lin Mengyu was the only one who could get in touch with the Shadow Demon Lord. Her identity is so important. Once it spreads out, the little Zhongdu Lord University will not be able to keep her at all. At that time, any old monster may appear. By the time, she might have to live in the dark world for the rest of her life. Lin Zongguo naturally did not want this to happen. And in the dark world, Qin Yi didn't care about all this, he only cared about the rewards he got after he reached level 10. SSS level special ability, the Void Flows. This is the first and only level 10 SSS level ability of all blue stars. Other Dark Lords, when they reach level 10, have at most one S level, and even S levels are few and far between. Void Circulation. SSS level Lord ability. It can transmit any object, energy, and life to any position visible in the field of vision, and the vector direction remains unchanged after transmission. Cooldown for 1 second. Close black lens bracket. Qin Yi just glanced at it, and his heart beat faster. What is invincible? This is Void Circulation. Can transmit any object, energy or life form. As expected of an SSS level ability. Although there is no offensiveness and no enhancement to Qin Yi himself, this lord's ability is definitely worthy of the SSS level rating. Since then, Qin Yi can go wherever he wants to go. This is just the lowest and most basic usage of Void Circulation. When someone shoots an arrow at Qin Yi can directly transmit the arrow and kill rival in turn. E.g., the little fox Daji threw a demon umbrella arrow at Qin Yi. Qin Yi can directly activate the Void Circulation ability, send the demon umbrella arrow behind her, and attack herself in turn. In theory, Qin Yi can already beat any rival with this. Attack the enemy's shield with the enemy's spear. Certainly, the imperfection of this ability is that it has a 1-second cooldown, and the defects are still relatively obvious and easy to be targeted. But, after all, this is only a level 10 Lord ability. To be able to have such an effect, it is already very against the sky. The abilities obtained by other lords at level 10, even S level, are still within the range that Blue Star physics can explain. For example, flying ability, physical enhancement, escape, run fast, and so on. But Qin Yi's SSS level, Void Circulation, is completely beyond the laws of physics. Using Blue Star physics, it is completely impossible to explain the principle of this ability. Finally, no longer a waste lord, Qin Yi nodded with satisfaction. This special ability did not disappoint him. Next up, he checked the squire's ranking on the leaderboard and the leaderboard rewards that the system issued to him. Make his heart beat faster again. As expected of the top 3 awards in the world. Is this too cool? The reward for being third in the lame bag is God Fragment 30. Akasha's second ranked reward is God Fragment 40. At last, Nanette's demon fox Sudaji. The reward for ranking number 1 on the level 10 servant list is 150 deity fragments. It's actually a fragment of a god. This is too cool. Even Qin Yi was a little surprised. The reward for the top 3 attendants is something that is not written in the textbook. No way. Even the textbook writers themselves have not been on the rankings. How could it be possible to write this level of knowledge in textbooks? Not to mention students, even those Dark Lords can't use this level of knowledge. And the deity shards. It is all the high-end Dark Lords in the world, all things that Covet can't ask for. Usually, only by killing at least epic dark creatures, it is possible to drop, and the probability of falling is extremely low. As for its function, it is to improve the rank of servants. Upgrading from Emperor to Epic requires 50 deity shards. Upgrading from Epic to Legendary requires 200 deity fragments. From the Legendary level to the Mythical level, 1000 God fragments will be consumed. However, although the textbook doesn't say anything about ranking rewards, but I've seen academic research on this. Qin Yi remembered a report he had read before. There are several aspects related to the rewards of the servant leaderboard. First, the place you get when you get on the leaderboard. Obviously, the higher the ranking, the better the reward. Second, the strength of the servants themselves when they are on the leaderboard. The stronger the servant, the better the reward. Third, the time it takes to get to the leaderboard. The shorter the time, the better the reward. Fourth, and the most important point, the gap between other servants on the leaderboard and this servant. The bigger the gap, the better the reward. The four aspects add up to determine the final ranking reward. And Qin Yi, in these four areas, all done to the extreme. Any of these points are almost impossible for other Dark Lords to achieve. Start Epic, Emperor level servants, who has it? First on the top, who can? In just 3 hours, it was raised to level 10, where is the precedent? The most important is, when Su Daji reached the top, the battle attribute was more than double that of the previous number 1. These points are superimposed together, and it is determined that Qin Yi, in this list, won a reward that makes countless people envy and hate. To know, Lin Mengyu's father, Lin Waring states. The 120th level Dark Lord, in order to accumulate 50 God fragments, has been busy for more than 20 years. On average, only 2 to 3 deity shards can be hit each year. And Qin Yi, this wave directly harvested 220 divine fragments. It is equivalent to the development of Lin and Waring states for 100 years. Certainly, an existence like Qin Yi. According to the normal development of Blue Star, not to mention 100 years, even 300 or 500 years may not be able to produce one. With this wave of rewards, wouldn't it be possible to roll snowball like crazy? Qin Yi opened the backpack and looked at the 220 deity fragments in the backpack with a smile on his face. He can choose to upgrade 2 Emperor level servants to Epic level. That way he still has 120 deity fragments left for later use. At the same time, he can also choose to upgrade the Epic Little Fox Daji to a legendary level. There is no doubt that he chose the latter. When the Little Fox is promoted to the legendary level, when he reaches level 20, the rewards for him will be even more generous. For average development, it is better to develop one of them to the extreme. Little Daji, come here. Qin Yi greeted the little loli. See Lord. Daji the little fox dodged and came to him, saluting. A pair of watery eyes, dumping all beings. Come on, this is for you. Qin Yi handed her 200 pieces of gods and patted her head. He likes this action. Accidentally touching her pair of fox ears, she will blush a little. Ah, thank you Lord. When Xiao Daji saw what Qin Yi gave her, her eyes lit up and she was very cute. How could she not know the preciousness of the fragments of gods? Certainly, it is precisely because of her that Qin Yi can obtain so many fragments of gods. It was the grievances of Lame Li and Akasha. These 2 Emperor-level attendants also made a lot of contributions. Without them, Qin Yi's deity fragments would not be enough to upgrade Xiao Daji's rank. Certainly, for any decision made by the Lord, as a servant, it must be unconditional support. Qin Yi felt a little wronged by them. But they themselves don't feel that way. Instead, rejoice in the promotion of the Nenettle's foxes, which, after all, means that their lords become stronger. Open black lens bracket. Your attendant, Nenettle's demon fox Su Daji, has consumed 200 deity fragments and has been upgraded to the legendary level. Close black lens bracket. By the way, Qin Yi spent 6,300 source crystals to upgrade her to level 10. Directly unlock the ultimate skill of level 10. Then, a heaven-defying little fox was born. Chapter 31. Chin-Yi checked the little fox's attribute. Servant. Nenettle's Demon Fox Su Daji. Grade. Legendary. Level. 10. Star rating. 1. Occupation. Mage. Trainable units. Demon Mage. Passive talent. Basic attack bounces 14 times. Skill 1. Demon Umbrella Arrow. Release a red arrow. Skill 2. Demon Flash. Flash to any position within 100 meters, cooldown for 1 second. Skill 3. Protective Orbs. Release 5 red orbs, each red orb can resist any damage 1 time. Cooldown for 10 seconds. Skill 4. Thousands of people fall down. After release, all enemies who see her will be attracted and fall into the charmed contest condition for 60 seconds. Cooldown for 1200 seconds. Battle Attribute. HP 3360 Right Pointing Arrow 4620. Attack 640 Right Pointing Arrow 806. Defense 156 Right Pointing Arrow 180. Star Enhancement. The cooldown of the skill, Demon Flash, is reduced by 1 second. Fighting Attribute. Skyrocketing further. Basic attack bounces 14 times. The new skill's ultimate move, Dumping, directly makes all enemies who see her enter the charm contest condition, which lasts for 60 seconds. There is no doubt that this is a sky-defying field control skill. More than 4,000 blood, 800 attacks, 180 defenses. This attribute is simply invincible. Chin-Yi can't believe it when he sees it. Is this really the attribute of a level 10 servant? He recalled the textbook about the range of values for the combat attributes of servants at all levels. Under the condition that other servants are also 1 star. Daji, the little fox who has just reached level 10, is equivalent to an ordinary servant at level 140 to 150. Equivalent to an elite squire of level 70 to 80. Equivalent to a 45 to 50 overseer level attendant. This still ignores the skills gap. If you count skills, that's even more amazing. That is to say, if there is a Dark Lord of more than 40 levels now, and he has a Warlord level attendant under his command, it is possible that he can't beat Xiao Daji. Chin-Yi thought to himself. But 40 or 50 level Dark Lords, there must be more than one attendant. The most important is, this kind of Lord servants fought in the north and south, killed many monsters and enemy troops, and made great achievements. At least to 2 stars, or even 3 stars. Not only has the basic attribute tripled or even quadrupled, but even the skills have been strengthened many times. From this point of view, it is still a little more powerful than the current Xiao Daji. Certainly, now that Chin-Yi is in the dark world, it is impossible to encounter this level of rival for the time being. After reading Xiao Daji's attribute, Chin-Yi looked at her carefully again. Compared with the previous epic level, her 9 plush tails seem to be longer, and her ears are a little more pointed. But, looking at her face, she still looks like a little loli, and her height has not changed much. It doesn't seem to have grown up much. Chin-Yi muttered. Did you really not grow up? The little fox asked a little blushing. This is so delicious. So Chin-Yi took a closer look. Good guy. This is a bit indescribable. ... Next, Chin-Yi sorted out the backpack. I saw a recruiting letter that was typed out earlier. A single recruitment letter is not very easy to use. It's best to collect 10 cards and draw 10 in a row, so that there is a guarantee. Otherwise, it is very likely that not even a single servant will be recruited. Chin-Yi thought for a while. The Lord level has reached level 10, so don't rush to level 20 for the time being. Because of the 20 level Lord rating, the requirements for all aspects are much higher. Chin-Yi still wants to get the SSS level, or even higher evaluation. It is useless to blindly rush to the Lord level. All aspects must go hand in hand. If he rushes to level 20 with his current conditions, I'm afraid the rating is not even a grade. His territory is too small. The regiment is too small. So, you have to lay the foundation first. In addition, try recruiting again to see if you can recruit the attendants of the 3rd rank. He hasn't bought a recruiting book yet. To buy 9 recruiting books, a total of 45,000 source crystals are needed. And his remaining source crystals are only 19,300 source crystals left. It seems that I have to wait for Lin Mengyu to go online and let her use the dark bait. Chin-Yi shook his head, not in a hurry. Now that she's gone, he'll take care of the foundation first. For a Dark Lord, Attendants are not everything. Basic construction is just as important. He looked around his territory. Shabby, too shabby, shabby, too shabby. This territory, equivalent to Qin Yi's second home, how can it continue like this? They're already level 10 lords, and they don't even have a city wall. How can they be? There is only such a 5-tile territory in the territory. What kind of lord is this? Come here, idle civilians, and upgrade the recruiting camp. If you want to build a lot of buildings, then a lot of civilians are essential. The recruiting camp is the foundation of the foundation. Moreover, soldiers are also an indispensable resource for lords. No matter how strong the little fox Daji is, her role is limited. After all, it is impossible for her to appear on 2 battlefields at the same time. But did she train hundreds of hex mages? Every hex mage, battle attribute inherits the servant's attribute in percentage. As you can imagine, what a powerful army it must be. In the Dark World, the main combat units of the lords are, after all, the special units trained by the attendants, not the attendants themselves. And the basis of special arms. Just soldiers. Whether soldiers or civilians, the most important thing is to be recruited from the recruitment camp. Qin Yi spent 10 source crystals to build a first-order recruiting camp. Now at level 10, it can be upgraded to a second-level recruiting camp. The first-order conscription camp can accommodate up to 8 soldiers or civilians, one refreshed every 60 minutes. The second-tier recruitment camp can accommodate up to 16 people, and one person is refreshed every 30 minutes. You have consumed 100 source crystals. Close black lens bracket. Your civilians are upgrading the conscription camp. Tier 1 right pointing arrow. Tier 2 estimated completion time, 9 minutes. Close black lens bracket. The more civilians involved in building or upgrading, the faster the building will be completed. Now Qin Yi, in addition to the commoner who is proficient in domestication, other 7 commoners have come to participate in the construction, and 2 of them are proficient in construction, which has accelerated a lot of upgrades. It is cheap to recruit soldiers or civilians from a draft camp. Only 10 source crystals are needed. The key is refresh rate. Even a Tier 2 recruiting camp would only be refreshed in half an hour. For Qin Yi, the pace was too long. So, he chose to explode. Exploding soldiers means that the source crystal is consumed and the recruitment camp is directly full. For example, the first-order recruitment camp, directly brush with 8 people. The second-level recruitment camp is directly filled with 16 people. After brushing out, you can directly recruit at the price of 10 source crystals. Regardless of the level of the recruiting battalion, the source crystals consumed by blasting troops are fixed, so the level of the recruiting battalion must be as high as possible. Exploding troops for the first time every day costs 100 source crystals. The second explosion costs 200 source crystals. The third time, it costs 400 source crystals. And so on. Exploding troops once a day will cost twice as much as the last time. Although a little upset, Qin Yi couldn't help it. After all, this rule is not aimed at him. If there is no such restriction, the great lord of the family can explode several trillion soldiers overnight. Because of this restriction, Lord Normal will only explode troops in emergencies. Qin Yi doesn't care. His foundation is too poor now, and the first few explosions didn't cost much, so he could explode at will. 9 minutes later, the second-order recruitment camp, the upgrade is complete. From the original 2-story building, it has become a 4-story building, and the building is much more refined. It does not look like a village building, but a town building. Qin Yi took a look. The level 2 recruitment camp, which was just upgraded, was filled with 16 people. 7 civilians, 9 soldiers. Spend 160 source crystals, all recruited. The recruiting camp was suddenly empty. But then, Qin Yi directly spends the source crystal, and continuously blasts troops. Once, twice, 3 times. A total of 3,100 source crystals were spent to blast troops 5 times, and another 800 source crystals were spent to recruit a total of 80 people. In addition to the first free refresh, there are 96 more people in Qin Yi's territory. So many people have to eat and rest. The food produced by the previous 7 sheep is definitely not enough. Fortunately, you can directly consume the source crystal to buy food. 1 serving of food a day consumes 3 origin crystals. For other lords, directly exchanging source crystals for food is a waste, and it hurts to look at it. But for Qin, this source crystal consumption is nothing at all. After all, he now has the talent effect of the S-rank lord, 10 times the income of the source crystal. This works out. Qin found that he still had more than 15,000 source crystals. I just found out that this source crystal is quite durable. He couldn't help thinking. If other lords knew what he was thinking, they would be stunned. This one time spent more than 3,000 source crystals, is it still durable? More than 3,000 source crystals. The new lord came in, and the average income on the first day was only 300 to 400 source crystals. And Qin, just over 3 hours after coming in, the source crystals spent are directly counted in 10,000. 96 new recruits, 40 civilians and 56 soldiers. Soldiers rest first, civilians gather. Qin quickly checked the specialties of these 40 civilians. I found that there were 2 proficient in domestication, and directly let them raise sheep. With a little more domestication personnel, there is a greater probability that sheep will give birth to lambs. Although it seems useless, but Qin still did what the textbook said. Mainly allows them to gain domestication experience. In the future, there are other animals that will be easier to raise. In Blue Star, there are already several Dark Lords who can raise dragons. There are even super strong arms, dragon knights, under their hands. If they want to cultivate them, the foundation lies in high-level domestic personnel. After the tame skilled commoner leaves, the remaining 38 civilians, no matter what they are proficient in, Qin directly asked them to go to upgrade the school field with the 7 civilians just now. On the first order school ground, it takes 30 minutes to train a soldier. It only takes 20 minutes to train a soldier to the second level school field. You have consumed 100 source crystals. Close black lens bracket. Your civilians are upgrading the school field Tier 1 right pointing arrow Tier 2 estimated completion time, 45 seconds. Close black lens bracket. The crowd is fast. It took 9 minutes to upgrade the recruiting camp just now, and now it only takes 45 seconds to upgrade the school field. After a short time, a flat school field larger than a football field has been upgraded. Train soldiers here 3 times faster than the base. Daji, come to the campus with me. Soldiers, gather at the school grounds. Qin is going to directly build the army of demon mages. He stretched out his hand and gently hugged Xiao Daji. Use your abilities. The void flows. Take him and Xiao Daji directly to the second order school field. A total of 56 soldiers gathered at the school grounds. The little fox Daji snuggled up beside Qin, stretched out her little hand and tugged at his clothes. Lord. Can you not have a man? Can't a man be trained as a demon mage? Qin asked strangely. Can it be possible? Xiao Daji looked a little aggrieved, but people hate men. I don't want to bring men. ? And this kind of operation. Qin looked at the pretty little fox leaning against her softly and fell into contemplation. I'm a man too. Or, this girl doesn't treat me as a man. He looked suspicious. Lord is so handsome, it must be an exception. The little fox bowed his head slightly, his face red. All right. Qin thought about it and agreed. Mainly, Xiao Daji is now legendary. To train a demon mage, the cost has been increased from 264 origin crystals to 282 origin crystals. I have a second-tier school field, and fast training requires an additional 1/3 of the source crystal. That is to say, to train a demon mage quickly, you need 376 source crystals. If all the soldiers on the school grounds were trained as demon mages, Qin's source crystals would not be enough. Just listen to Daji and train the female soldiers to become demon mages first. There are 29 female soldiers in the school field. If they all speed up their training, 10,904 source crystals are needed, which is almost affordable. Then do it. Start training. Qin asked the male soldiers to leave the school grounds first. I like the Lord the most. The little fox Daji smiled happily, jumped up and hugged Qin. Boom. One sip, then slipped down. Seeing her cheerful appearance, Qin was a little helpless. This girl, is it necessary to be so happy? In just 2 minutes, 29 demon wizards, after the massive source crystals were dropped, the training was completed directly. This is the power of banknotes. As long as there are enough source crystals, you can train in seconds. Then, in addition to the demon mage young teachers who had been trained before, a total of 30 demon mage dressed in red gathered in front of Qin Yi. Each demon mage has 2,310 HP, 604 ATK, and 78 def. And comes with 100 points of spell penetration. 100 points of spell penetration, what is this concept? You know, even Akasha, a level 9 Emperor level attendant and a commander, now has 117 defense points. In other words, at this stage, the rival that Qin Yi can encounter is basically equivalent to 0 defense in front of the demon mage. Completely ignore rival's defenses. How terrible is this? And each magician has different skills. There is a ghost flash. There is a protective orb. Bounce the ball. Solo charm. The ball is imprisoned. And many more. All kinds of skills are available. Daji, you lead the team yourself and prepare to fight. Qin Yi touched the head of the little fox beside him. Are we going to prepare for expansion? Xiao Daji was a little excited. There's no money to expand, first hit a dark bait. Qin Yi said. He wants to get some source crystals, and another 10 draws. Dark bait again. The little fox seemed a little uninterested. The battle merits obtained by the demon mage by killing monsters belong to you. Don't you want to quickly accumulate battle merits and rise to 3 stars? Qin Yi asked her with a smile. As soon as these words came out, Xiao Daji's eyes suddenly lit up. Yup, dark bait. This is by far the fastest way to gain success. As soon as she gets to Samsung, she will be able to go to the world where Qin Yi is with Qin Yi as soon as possible. That world, it's called Blue Star. For this, the little fox is of course very looking forward to it. Immediately full of fighting spirit. At this time, Lin Mengyu is online. She thought about Qin Yi's wave of dark bait, should it be over? It's time to come up and get some pocket money. Really been waiting. 20,000 source crystals, Lin Mengyu thought happily. Just when she just went online and appeared in her own territory. Suddenly, the space in front of her was distorted, and 2 figures, one big and one small, appeared in front of her out of thin air, startling her. Qin Yi. The first time she saw Qin Yi, she was relieved and puzzled. Are you teleporting? Is this your lord ability? If it is said that high lords above level 100 will teleport, she is not surprised at all. For example, her father has an SS level, Space Flash, lord ability, which was obtained at level 100. But Qin Yi is only level 10. At level 10, you have the lord ability to break through the laws of physics. Do you want to be so exaggerated? More or less. Qin Yi nodded vaguely. Void flow. Barely it can be said to be teleportation. Of course, the function of void circulation can be much more than teleportation, but there is no need to explain it to a subordinate. If it was the little fox who asked, he would explain it. It's just that the little fox can teleport himself, so I don't think there is anything too special about Qin Yi's ability. At most, I feel that Qin Yi's teleportation is a little far away. Of course that is far. As long as he is anywhere in the field of vision, Qin Yi can go directly to the void. Certainly, there is still a limit to the range of void circulation, which is related to his lord's combat power. The stronger the combat power, the farther the limit distance of void circulation. In the dark world, there is definitely no need to consider the issue of extreme distance. But at Blue Star, although Qin Yi can see the sun, there is definitely no way for him to transmit others to the sun at present, the distance is too far. Standing in front of Qin Yi, Lin Mengyu felt a little dazed. What kind of existence is your own master? It was at this time. Out of the corner of her eye, she glanced at the little fox beside Qin Yi. She didn't care much at first. After all, she had seen this epic squire before, and she was really pure and lovely. But when she saw this, she was stunned again. Now, she was completely dumbfounded. Legendary. What's going on? It was still epic when it was just on the list. In the blink of an eye, it was directly raised a notch. Shock. Incredible. This even made her a little suspicious. Did she have hallucinations? Wake up, wake up. Qin Yi made a sound in a timely manner. He is also in a hurry to hit the dark bait, and he will get some source crystals and then another 10 consecutive draws. So what happened to this subordination? This is a shock, the psychological quality is not good. What? Legendary. Is this really legendary? Lin Mengyu, who was woken up by Qinyi, suddenly became a little excited. She looked at the cute Nanette's little demon fox in front of her, her eyes turned into heart shapes. Legendary servant. There is no public information about legendary servants in the world. Certainly, there are servants of this rank. Those old monsters above level 200, Mega Lords, basically have legendary servants. It's just that the existence of that level is simply not accessible to the public. And now, a living legendary servant appeared in front of her like this. How could she not be excited? Can't blame her for not being calm enough. In this era of global lords, it is impossible for normal people to calm down when they see legendary servants. Qinyi had no choice but to cough and say, "What, about today's salary?" Really? As soon as he said this, Lin Mengyu suddenly reacted. Correct. Salary, pocket money. No matter how powerful the legendary level is, it is not hers, but Qinyi's. The pocket money belongs to her. For a while, her beautiful eyes turned into small money again, looking forward to it. Lin Mengyu felt very comfortable. You can take the source crystal while you are lying down. When she thought so, her face suddenly turned red. No. What is lying down? Blah blah blah. So misunderstood. But, she feels so ashamed now that she is like this. It was like being raised by Qinyi. And in fact, Qinyi really regarded her as a tool to help him grow. I have to say that, with a subordinate, the growth rate will indeed speed up a lot. Now you're a level 2 lord, right? That's the salary of 20,000 yuanjing. Qinyi said, I've spent all the source crystals just now, so let me make an IOU first, okay? Question mark. Ah, okay. Lin Mengyu nodded stunned. She didn't realize that something was wrong. After all, as a Dark Lord, it was normal for the source crystal to bloom. Well, let's say it, I owe you 20,000, and I will give you this wave of dark bait. After Qinyi finished speaking, he initiated a transaction with her. Put 3,900 source crystals. I only have this source crystal left, I'll give it to you first. You are a level 2 lord, first spend 2,900 to upgrade to level 5. Then spend 1,000 source crystals and buy me a level 3 dark bait. The bait money is mine. In this case, I still owe you 17,100 source crystals. Qinyi said. Lin Mengyu accepted the deal. The school flower thought about it for a while, and it seemed that there was no problem with this transaction. So she turned around and ran towards the core of the lord in the center of her territory. This speed, it's too slow. It looks like your legs are quite long, why can't you run fast? Qinyi looked at her graceful back and shook his head. With a movement of footsteps, he directly caught up with her, and then grabbed her arm. Void flow. Take her directly to the center of her territory. Let her run this half of the territory by herself, a distance of 500 meters, I am afraid it will take several minutes. So Qinyi took her directly for a ride. Thanks. The schoolgirl blushed a little and said that it was the first time she was so close to a boy. This teleportation feeling is great. Go. Qinyi released her soft arm and let go to the Lord Core to operate. The core crystal of her lord is surrounded by a high tower building, which belongs to the early protection type building. She opened a small door, entered it, and upgraded the operation. Level 3, Level 4, Level 5, it's not right. My lord's level has increased, and the salary should be more. According to the current level 5, it should be 50,000. Only then did she react at once. Qinyi, this man. So bad. No wonder I just said I'm going to make an IOU. This is to first determine today's salary at 20,000. She will upgrade later. There's no reason to get paid more. Woo, Qinyi, you are so cunning. Lin Mengyu ran out crying. What's wrong? Qinyi looked strange. You. Lin Mengyu's words came to his lips, but he couldn't say anything. Never mind. Good women don't fight men. Your level 3 dark bait, here. She initiates a transaction application to Qinyi. As a result, it was rejected by Qinyi. Dark bait of each level, each lord can only use it once a day. This level 3 dark bait is for you to use. Qinyi said. What? I use? Lin Mengyu was dumbfounded. If she uses it, the dark creatures she attracts will attack the core of her lord. Originally, she thought it was for Qinyi, but Qinyi took it back and used it himself. Result: Qinyi let her use it. Yup. Qinyi took it for granted, and looked at the woman strangely. If I use it, why should I let you buy it? But, this is a level 3 dark decoy. Lin Mengyu cried on the spot. I don't have any buildings in this territory, and there are no defensive buildings at all. Level 3 dark decoy. The attracted dark creatures are 10 to 16 levels higher than the core of the territory. That's level 15 to 21. There will be flying creatures. There are also ultra long range attack creatures. Woo, this beautiful school flower face is ashes. On the delicate face, there is a look of unrequited love. Is Qinyi trying to use her as a test? With her broken territory, can she defend the dark creatures attracted by the level 3 dark lure? Other lords open level 0 and level 1 dark decoys in the midterm, and they all rely on defensive buildings. By the city wall, sentinel tower, building defenses, and many more. And her territory has nothing. Even if Qinyi will help, just relying on a legendary servant can't kill all the monsters in all directions. The monster level is too high. As long as there is a fish that slips through the net, it can directly explode her lord core. That's when Lin Mengyu was a little desperate. Qinyi territory direction. Suddenly, a group of figures in red clothes rushed out of the darkness. That's 30. Demon Mage. Every Demon Mage is equivalent to a level 40 to 50 Warlord level attendant who has never been promoted to a star. How terrifying would it be to gather together? Qinyi never thought that he would not be able to hold on. Even, he wants to open another level 4 dark decoy later. This is the source of the source crystal and the military exploits. For him, the more of the two, the better. Lord, the Legion of Demon Mage is here to report. The little fox Daji, with 30 demon wizards, quickly came to Qinyi and Lin Mengyu. Her figure is swaying, peerless elegance. Especially the 9 fox tails that make people want to touch. Well, let's arm separately. Qinyi nodded. Looking around, Lin Mengyu's Earl Dervish territory is also an unobstructed grassland. The north side has expanded a space. In the grid that overlaps with Qinyi's territory, dark creatures will also appear on both sides. So, you still need to keep 4 sidelines. The total line of defense is 4,000 meters. Shrink a little bit. Every 100 meters, station a demon mage. Qinyi asked the demon mages to set up a defense line 125 meters away from the edge of darkness. In this case, the 4 lines of defense present a square of 750*750 meters. The farthest attack distance of each demon mage is 100 meters, which is also the standard range of the Dark World Mage. With this formation, no matter where the dark creatures come from, they will usher in the head-on attack of the demon mage in the first time. With these 30 demon mages around, there is no need for other arms. Certainly, the Queen of Soaring in the Sky, Akasha, was also called over by Qinyi. She is now level 9, and has not been upgraded to level 10 for the time being. The third skill has been unlocked. Skill 3, Queen's Blessing. Swing the sword to release the Queen's Blessing, protecting friendly units from damage for 2 seconds. Cooldown for 1200 seconds. Close black lens bracket. A damage-free skill with a 20-minute cooldown. It can be said that this skill is very useful, especially now. In case any dark creature breaks through the line of defense and attacks Lin Mengyu's Lord Core, the Queen's Blessing can directly protect her Lord Core. Certainly, when you need to use this skill, it is already quite urgent. Under normal circumstances, Qinyi's Void Circulation is enough to deal with. Void circulation once a second is enough to protect long-range attacks from dark creatures. Another effect of Akasha's coming is to increase defense and restore blood to all friendly units in this grid. The passive of the Queen of Soaring in the Sky. After level 9, it has been greatly enhanced. Passive talent. Increases defense by 50 and HP by 50 for all allies within a grid. The effect will grow with the level. Close black lens bracket. From the initial 10 defense and 10 health recovery, first increased to 15 at level 2. Now at level 9, its effect has been enhanced to 50 points. When Akasha came to this space, Lin Mengyu and her attendants, civilians and soldiers also all enjoyed this effect. The unknown night is coming. Your Majesty, your Lucas is so dazzling. Lord Shadow Demon, is there anything I can do for you? The unknown knight is very respectful. He is now a Tier 2 Warlord Squire, with 360 HP, 55 attack, and 23 defense. When Akasha comes, his defense has skyrocketed to 73 points, and he is also recovering 50 points of blood per second. Directly let his defense surpass his attack. Just horrible. This made him, really couldn't help it, and sincerely sighed, the Shadow Demon Lord is really powerful. Oh, no, you just need to protect your lord. When Qinyi saw the nameless knight running over, he said to him. Humph, good licking. Lin Mengyu looked at her servant and felt like she was about to cry. Obviously his servant. It turned out to be so respectful to Qinyi. This man, but let her put a level 3 dark bait in her territory. How hateful. How is this different from playing with fire at home? Although Qinyi sent 30 demon wizards. But she is still afraid. Level 3 dark decoy. This is something even her father has never driven. Now, she is about to touch the taboo of almost all dark lords, so how can she not be afraid? If Qinyi drove by herself, she would not be afraid. She felt that Qinyi's territory must be very luxurious, with all kinds of defense facilities, and the servants were strong enough to defend. As everyone knows, Qinyi's territory is almost the same as her current situation. There is no defense at all. Because of this, Qinyi chose to let her open the dark bait first. Even if there is an accident that explodes the Lord Core, it is not Qinyi's Lord Core. Of course, the odds of an accident are extremely low. Let me set fire to my house. You still owe me my salary. Woo, I'm not playing anymore. Lin Mengyu feels so angry. What? The dark bait can be put. At this moment Qinyi said something to her. Lin Mengyu was getting angrier the more she thought about it. As soon as I heard Qinyi's words, oh, she obediently took out the level 3 dark bait. The body is very honest. It doesn't matter, just die. She closed her eyes and used level 3 dark decoy. A whirlpool was formed with a burst of extremely dense dark power. The edges of darkness all around seemed to be churning. Level 3 dark decoys were equivalent to suicide weapons for almost all dark lords. And in Qinyi's eyes, this is a cash cow instead. Build a wall. Build a wall. Lin Mengyu quickly directed his civilians to continue building walls around the tower at the core of the Lord. The more walls she builds, the safer her Lord Core will be. But, at this time, she saw that on the edge of darkness, groups of dark creatures surged out. Every dark creature is bigger than an elephant in reality, ferocious and terrifying. In particular, there is a level 21 dark and rotten centaur who walked out of the darkness, with a height of 3 floors, and just appeared, directly providing a violent halo to all the dark creatures in the audience. Dark rotten centaurs level 21 general level. Close black lens bracket. Hundreds of dark creatures in the surrounding area directly entered the violent contest condition, and rushed towards the guarding demon mage like crazy. It's over. Lin Mengyu was dumbfounded. She never expected that a general level monster would appear directly. This level of monsters will provide various auras and boosts to other dark creatures. So many violent monsters. How can their mages hold up? This wave is about to be wiped out. However, just when she was a little desperate, the demon mages acted, and the magic balls bombarded out one by one. Minus 588. Minus 579. Minus 600. Minus 591. ... Everywhere in the audience, bright red numbers floated along with these numbers. A large number of dark creatures were all killed in seconds. Occasionally, there are fish that slip through the net, or remote dark creatures, attacking the magicians. Minus 0. Minus 0. Minus 0. ... Actually, unscathed. At this moment, Lin Mengyu was completely shocked. Is this a legendary class? It's too scary. These are all monsters around level 20. They were actually crushed. In her eyes, this scene is simply incredible. Damage, spike. Get hit, don't break defense. These sorcerers. Is it really a mage profession known for its crispy skin? Lin Mengyu didn't dare to imagine that the scene in front of him was too shocking and exaggerated. At the same time, the little fox Dodgy herself was dispatched in person. The general level monster is handed over to you. Qinyi raised his hand. Void flow. Directly teleport the little fox Dodgy who is killing monsters in the other direction to the front of the general level monster. Crowds fall. The little fox was teleported to the monster by Qinyi, and raised the little red umbrella in his hand. Unleash the big move. At this moment, her petite and graceful figure moved like a dancer, and a burst of pale red energy swept the surrounding 200 meters. Within that range, all monsters are caught in the sluggish contest condition. Together with the general level dark and rotten people, they all lost their desire to attack. This moment, although Xiao Daji is still a little lowly, that figure is already haunting, like a goddess from heaven and earth. Nenettles lingered, and the demon power exploded. All monsters are under her control. Right now, set fire. Qin Yi ordered. Charm contest condition, once attacked, will be released. Therefore, once the important target is charmed, everyone must focus on the fire. Army attack. Akasha, the queen of soaring in the sky, unleashed skill 1 at the right moment, increasing the attack by 50% to all. The next moment, the surrounding demon mage, the little fox Dodgy, etc., were all attacking the general level dark creatures at the same time. Minus 2108. Minus 848. Minus 845. ... A series of damage numbers floated out. The general level dark and rotten centaurs, 3-story high terrifying monsters, were directly killed by the focus fire. Fall to the ground with a bang. It's just a general level monster. In front of the legendary Nenettles demon fox, it is normal to be killed in seconds. Qin Yi glanced at it. All this was what he expected. Since he had let go of the dark bait twice before, the concentration of dark energy in the vicinity was very high. If it continues like this, there will also be higher level monsters. Now I don't need anyone else to pick up loot for me. Qin Yi narrowed his eyes. He looked at the shiny objects in the pile of source crystals dropped by the general level monster, and activated the void flow. Transfer it directly into your own hands. This lord's ability is really relaxing and enjoyable. Qin Yi just glanced at it, and his eyes suddenly lit up. Out of the lord equipment. You must know that the drop rate of lord equipment is not high, and this is still dropped by general level monsters. 4-star equipment. Hunyuan Divine Sword, 4-star lord equipment, the lord's personal combat power plus 95, attack plus 125, and critical strike rate plus 30%. Every 8 seconds, Hunyuan Slash can be triggered, hitting the enemy and stunning for 3 seconds. Close black lens bracket. Equipment requirements. Level 9. As expected of a 4-star lord equipment. Qin Yi sighed with emotion. He is now level 10, and the lord's personal combat strength is only 79 points. But this knife directly added 95 points of combat power. Don't hesitate to equip it right away. Open black lens bracket. You are equipped with the Hunyuan Divine Sword. Close black lens bracket. Your lord's personal combat power. 79 points. Right pointing arrow 174 points. Close black lens bracket. A total of 174 combat power. Equivalent to 1740 health, 348 attack, and 174 defense. In addition to the 125-point attack of the primordial sword itself, even his lord has 473 points of attack power. This attack is still a lot worse than Xiao Daji and Yao Mage. It seems that although this 4-star equipment is strong, compared with the legendary servants, it is still too little, brother. Qin Yi sighed. Certainly, if he can get a piece of lord equipment dropped by epic or even legendary monsters, he will be invincible. Not just invincible in the dark world. More importantly, in Blue Star, his combat power can skyrocket. If he wants to join the freshman martial arts club or something. Definitely don't have to think about it, you can take the first place with your feet. Certainly, Qin Yi wasn't interested in that martial arts club. After all, the rewards were real source crystals, and he couldn't bring it into the dark world to help develop. Unless he is really short of money. Just might think about it. As for letting him take out the source crystals of the dark world, it is currently impossible. After all, these source crystals are the capital of his development. Make persistent efforts. The more dark creatures die around here, the more likely higher level monsters will appear. Servant equipment, lord equipment, the more the better. Qin Yi looked around expectantly. Dark creatures are constantly emerging, but unfortunately, they were all killed by demon mages as soon as they appeared. Occasionally, there are dark creatures that cannot be dropped for a few seconds. These dark creatures have low damage and are even less threatening to the magicians. Elite level, Overseer level, dark creatures of these two levels also appeared in turn. Keep dropping something for Qinyi. The Seal of the Broken Mist. Recruitment book. This is not bad, and another one for free. The Squire equipment of the commander profession. Give it to Akasha. As for the source crystal. When Yuan Jing was mentioned, Qinyi's eyes lit up. The surrounding dark creatures of level 15 to 21 can drop about 15 source crystals on average. After half an hour, there are at least 50,000 to 60,000 source crystals. And under the talent bonus of 10 times the source crystal of S level. A total of 5 or 60,000 source crystals. 5 or 60,000, wouldn't it be a few more 10 draws? While the dark creatures keep attacking. Lin Mengyu, the school flower, was trembling all the time, for fear that some powerful monster would break through the defense line and directly explode her Lord Core. But soon, she found that her worry was completely unnecessary. Because there are no monsters at all that can break through the defense lines of the demon mages. Most monsters are killed in seconds. Even if there is someone who can resist one round of attacks, it is impossible to survive the second round. Under the passive effect of Akasha, the defense of the demon mages reached more than 100, which completely exceeded the attack power of ordinary monsters. No injury at all. Unless it is a monster with a rank, it can move them. But the monsters with grades are basically just appeared, and they are solved by the little fox Dodgy personally, and they can hardly survive for 3 seconds. Then, in the beginning, Lin Mengyu also asked her civilians to build walls frantically, trying to give the Lord Core more layers of protection. Later, she found that her actions were completely unnecessary. It's not necessary at all. Qinyi guarding this level 3 dark bait is too stable, as Mount Tai. What about the Dark Lord Taboo? Alright, is it suicide to put dark bait level 2 or higher? It doesn't work at all. Even the dark creatures of the general level were killed by little sister Su Daji. What else is there to threaten? When the territory turned the corner, Lin Mengyu breathed a sigh of relief. And Qinyi, it is in the non-stop search for equipment that has fallen everywhere. Ordinary level monsters will not drop equipment, and those who drop equipment are monsters with grades, at least elite level. Elite level, drops 2-star equipment. Overseer level, drops 3-star equipment. At the general level, 4-star equipment is dropped. Unconsciously, Qinyi has already prepared a set of equipment for Xiao Daji, Akasha and Lame Li. Certainly, attendant equipment and lord equipment can only be equipped with 3 pieces, namely weapons, armor and accessories. So putting together a set of equipment is not difficult. The key is that high-grade equipment is required to maximize their combat power. Pity. Now the 3 servants of Qinyi are equipped with 1 3-star and 2 2-star equipment. In fact, this equipment is not bad, it is very luxurious. Other lords and servants can basically only use the 1-star equipment that they forged. And Qinyi is here. You don't need to do that complicated stuff at all. What to forge? Certainly, in the later stage, if you obtain precious materials, you can still create high-star equipment, which depends on luck. 30 minutes later, the dark vortex formed by the dark bait finally dissipated. This wave of dark bait ended. Fortunately, another general level monster appeared in this wave at the end. A piece of 4-star attendant equipment dropped. Qinyi looks at the backpack. 9-needle medical book, 4-star attendant equipment limited to doctors. Healing and shielding effects are increased by 120%. Healing and shielding skill cooldowns are reduced by 50%. Health plus 500. Equipment requirements. Level 10. A physician-only squire weapon. Doctor's attendant. Beginning in the midterm, it is also indispensable. It's a panacea type. Qinyi pondered. No matter what regiment it is, there must be some doctors. Otherwise, there is no ability to recover, and it is easy to die in a war. If there is a doctor in the legion, then milking while playing, then the combat power will be different. It can greatly reduce the losses of one's own side in the war. For many new lords, even getting an ordinary level physician attendant can be very happy for a long time. Unfortunately, I haven't recruited a physician attendant yet. According to my situation of recruiting 10,000 times the crit. If there is a doctor, should it be Hua Tuo, Bian Ke, the legendary doctors in history? Qin Yi is still looking forward to this. He first put this 9-needle medical book into the warehouse. If a physician can be recruited in the near future, this equipment will still be useful. Otherwise, when he has a physician attendant, this 4-star medical book will probably be eliminated. Lin Mengyu, ask your soldiers and peasants to clean up the battlefield together. Qin Yi greeted him. It is good. Lin Mengyu's eyes lit up. Clean up the battlefield. This is the coolest thing for the Dark Lord. Because it means harvest. But, soon she was downcast. Because she found out that whether it was the source crystal she picked up or the source crystal picked up by her subordinates, none of it went into her backpack. Instead, they all went into Qin Yi's backpack. Article 1 of the Affiliation Treaty. All the source crystal income she receives as an affiliation will automatically be owned by Qin Yi. Tragedy. Lin Mengyu found out that she had become Qin Yi's source crystal tool. Tears of grief and indignation. In her opinion, there are at least 10 or 200,000 yuan jing in this sparkling source crystal, right? Unfortunately, she guessed wrong. So many source crystals, a total of more than 578,000. Finally, we can continue recruiting. If you don't recruit a few servants, it's not easy to get a limit rating at level 20. Qin Yi was quite satisfied when he saw so many source crystals he had harvested. 578,000 source crystals. Qin Yi directly opened Lin Mengyu's transaction and gave her 17,100 source crystals. One not much, one not much. You grow first. After Qin Yi gave the pocket money, he said, I will leave 10 demon mages in your territory. They can deal with any situation. Thank you. Lin Mengyu nodded happily. The long-awaited pocket money has finally arrived. But, why does it always feel weird? It's like a daughter asking her father for pocket money. Certainly. As for what kind of dad this dad is, it's hard to say. Qin Yi took the little fox Daji, released the void circulation, and returned to his territory in an instant. With this lord ability, it is indeed a lot more convenient. Buy the recruiting book. Qin Yi clicked on his own Lord Core. Start buying recruiting books. So far, he has hit a total of 2 recruiting books as a jungler, and the results are not bad. The source crystal spent on purchasing a recruiting book in the Lord Core is incremental. The first 1,000 source crystal. The second 2,000 source crystal. The third 3,000 source crystal. And so on. Qin Yi waved his hand and directly purchased 8 recruiting books, consuming 36,000 source crystals. This consumption, I don't feel at all. Since I have collected 10 recruitment books. 10 draws, start. Qin Yi took out the recruitment book in the backpack. Click for 10 consecutive draws. You use the recruitment function. You have obtained civilian Zhang Wei. Qin Yi's face sank when the first reminder came out. It doesn't matter if you're a civilian. The key is, why is it called Zhang Wei again? Where did so many Zhang Wei come from? The name is too popular. Qin Yi vomited blood. Hurry up, the next draw. He quickly clicks next. Then, civilian, soldier. Civilian, soldier. You use the recruitment function. Close black lens bracket. You have obtained a common level mount. Open black lens bracket. You triggered 10,000 times the crit. Close black lens bracket. You have obtained the Emperor level mount, the Inferno Warhorse. Close black lens bracket. Qin Yi's eyes lit up when he heard the system prompt. The mount is out. There are 2 types of mounts in the dark world, one is wild and the other is recruited. Wild mounts are found when expanding territories. No matter how many levels are found when you find them, you will always be at the same levels in the future. You cannot upgrade the level. Most of the levels are ordinary, but occasionally you may find wild high-level mounts, but you can't upgrade them either. The other is to recruit. Recruited mounts can increase their rank, and they can even increase their rank like a servant. Certainly, few people would waste so much and use precious resources on mounts. Qin Yi quickly checked the mount's attribute. Mount, Inferno Warhorse. Grade, Emperor grade. Open black lens bracket. Grade 1. Close black lens bracket. Attraction probability. Domesticated in the territory, there will be a probability to attract more of the same kind to join and belong to the Lord. The higher the natural environment temperature, the higher the probability of attraction. Closing parenthesis. HP, 800. Attack, 70. Defense, 50. Increase in combat power against cavalry, 400%. Close black lens bracket. Qinyi pulled it directly to the bottom. The combat power against cavalry is increased by 400%. This mount is too strong. Qinyi couldn't help but admire. Although it is only an emperor level, mounts are more precious than servants. As for attribute, as a level 1 existence, his HP and defense are very high, so he can attack normal. But as a mount, as long as it can block the attack, it's fine to not die. The damage output depends on the cavalry themselves. Qinyi is still very satisfied with the attribute of this mount. It's a pity that he doesn't have cavalry now. In the Dark World, the cavalry class Earl Dervish will be equipped with a default mount. But the default mount has no combat power bonus. So, if you play cavalry, you must recruit good mounts. For example, this Inferno Warhorse directly increases the combat power of cavalry by 400%. After owning the Inferno Warhorse, all attributes are quadrupled. It's not just a top 5. After the cavalry's defense has been quadrupled, rivals of the same level can't break the defense at all, and it's not a problem to fight hundreds or thousands of them. Certainly, it takes time for powerful cavalry to form a scale. The group of mounts found in the wild slowly reproduced by domestication. Recruited mounts can automatically attract the same kind to come over and increase the number. Slow is a bit slow, but if a strong cavalry army is cultivated, the combat power is unimaginable. Just thinking about it makes me excited. I'll be out of cavalry in the future. Everyone rides the Inferno steed. How scary is that? Qinyi asked those 3 civilians who were proficient in domestication to come and take the Inferno Warhorse away first. This Inferno Warhorse needs the higher the natural environment temperature, the higher the probability of attracting the same kind. Pity. Now Qinyi's territory is full of grasslands. At most, the source crystal mine has some mountains, which is completely irrelevant to the high temperature. For the time being, this can be ignored. Continue to recruit. Qinyi opened the recruiting interface. He hasn't finished the 10 consecutive draws just now. It's a pity that after the 10 card draws, he didn't draw anything special. This Emperor level mount directly occupied the guaranteed quota. It's okay, buy 10 more. Qinyi had long expected this result. Because this is the case with the normal lords. For example, Lin Mengyu only had 1 attendant in the first 10 consecutive draws, and he was guaranteed a guarantee. Qinyi started out with 3 attendants before, which can be said to be a burst of character. Then, he spent 135,000 source crystals and bought 10 recruiting books. 10 draws, rush. Qinyi was reckless again. And this time, in the first 9 recruitments, no attendants were hired. This is really a guarantee. Am I running out of luck at the start? Qinyi couldn't help feeling emotional. But still with a little anticipation, I opened the last recruitment book. You use the recruitment function. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. You have obtained the overseer level attendant. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. You triggered 10,000 times the crit. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. You have obtained a legendary servant. Close black lens bracket. Originally, Qinyi was a little uncomfortable. If a normal level attendant is guaranteed, and the crit becomes an emperor level attendant, it will not improve him much. But what he didn't expect was this hand. It turned out the overseer level attendant directly. After 10,000 times the crit, directly crit into a legendary servant. It is even higher than the original Nanettel's demon fox Su Daji. Xiao Daji is a legendary rank who spent 200 deity fragments to advance. And this time recruited. It's directly legendary. Qinyi's breathing became a little faster. Legendary servant. What is this concept? It is only 1 grade away from the strongest squire rank known, the mythical rank. So far, in the public information, no one has a mythical servant. Is equivalent to. This is already the strongest servant of Blue Star at present. Accompanying Qinyi to open the last recruitment book for this second round of 10 consecutive draws. The space in front of him opened a door out of thin air. 8 desolations and 6 harmonies, I am the only one. A thick and steady voice, with an aura of contempt for the world, resounded throughout the audience. A majestic man wearing a black dragon robe slowly walked out from the gate of space. This is the Emperor. Black dragon robe. Qin Yi just glanced at it, and his eyes lit up. Check out attributes quickly. Servant. 1 Emperor of the 1,000 Years Ying Zheng. Grade. Legendary. Open black lens bracket grade 1 close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket star rating. 0 close black lens bracket. Occupation. Commander. Trainable arms. Dakin Iron Cavalry charge speed increased. Passive talent. The first Emperor's coercion. Under the heavens, could it be the king's land? In one's own territory including subordinates the damage received by all enemies is increased by 110%, the effect will be enhanced as the level increases. Close black lens bracket. Skill 1. Sweep Liuhe, sweep all enemies within 30 meters around you, imprisoned for 10 seconds. Each time you hit an enemy, your attack power increases by 10%, up to 10 stacks. Cooldown for 12 seconds. Subsequent skills to be unlocked. Battle attribute. HP 1200, attack 150, defense 60. This skill is terrifying. Qin Yi just glanced at it and was immediately amazed. Passive talent. Shi Huang's coercion, directly more than doubles the damage of all enemies. And the effect will be enhanced as the level increases. In the later stages of dozens of levels, I am afraid that it can be improved by a few 100%. And Sweep Liuhe, this skill can be imprisoned in groups, and stack 10 layers of up to 100% attack power attribute. The attack power of the attendants increases, and the attack power of the special units under them will also increase. That is to say, the Great Qin Iron Cavalry unit, under the leadership of this ancient emperor, will be very terrifying. As soon as the emperor level mount was drawn, a cavalry unit came. Not bad. Qin Yi is satisfied now. Unexpectedly, the legendary Emperor Qianggu was directly recruited, the rumored first emperor. But the majestic Emperor Qianggu walked out of the space, looked around, and frowned slightly. Just a little bit of space. In our country, any small village is dozens of times larger than this place. Question mark. Qin Yi didn't expect it at all. This existence has just come out, and immediately began to despise his territory. And small. Broken again. No resources yet, have to say. For this great figure who unified the 6 kingdoms, Qin Yi's territory is completely unwatchable. Even if you count Lin Mengyu's Earl Dervish territory. There are only 6 in total. A site of 6 square kilometers is really not as good as a small village. However, this Inferno warhorse is not bad, worthy of my great Qin Iron Cavalry. At this time, Ying Zheng glanced at the Inferno warhorse in the training farm beside him. The whole body of the warhorse, the flames burn, and the majesty. For this emperor level mount, he felt that it was not bad. Unfortunately there is only one now. Need to find a place with a very hot natural environment to attract more Inferno steeds. As for now, give me 10,000 soldiers first, and I need 10,000 great Qin cavalry. Good guy. As soon as Ying Zheng came, he planned a development route for Qin Yi. This made Qin Yi wonder whether to laugh or cry. 10,000 soldiers. Is this the amount a level 10 lord can recruit? I have 30 soldiers left. If you want, take it to practice first. Qin Yi pointed to the 30 soldiers on the school field and said. Only 30. Are you looking down on me, Ying? Ying Zheng looked disdainful. But after saying this, he walked straight towards the school grounds. Apparently, this Emperor of the Ages said that he was disgusted, but these 30 soldiers don't want it for nothing. As a king, how can there be no soldiers at all? 30 soldiers are soldiers. ... Watching this big guy go to train Dakin Tichi first. Qin Yi smiled helplessly. This one really has character, but it can be seen that as a servant, he will completely obey the orders of his lord. Disgust is disgust. But no matter what, Qin Yi is his lord. As everyone knows, when Ying Zheng started training the Dakin Iron Cavalry, he was still secretly observing the entire territory. Although the mouth is disgusting to death. But in his observation, it was obvious that a large number of dark creatures died around this territory, and the dark energy persisted on the edge of darkness for a long time. Little Lord who just reached level 10. Can you kill so many dark creatures? And that Nanette's demon fox, the attendant named Su Daji, is on the same level as me. Ying Zheng was secretly shocked. It seems that my lord is not normal. And Qin Yi. He glanced at his backpack and found that he still had 390,000 source crystals. You can draw 10 more times. Pick it again. He couldn't help itching a little. Then spent 235,000 yuan crystals and bought 10 more recruitment books. Click for 10 consecutive draws on the spot. Pity. Guarantee. See guarantee. Qin Yi looked through the first 9 times of the 10 consecutive draws, and the whole person felt a little uncomfortable. Can't the character explode again? As he opened the last recruitment book, the bottom line was triggered. You use the recruitment function. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. You have obtained an elite level attendant. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. You triggered 10,000 times the crit. Close black lens bracket. You have obtained an epic squire, Zhangdizhua Xiaoqiao. Close black lens bracket. This, little Zhou. Qin Yi was a little surprised. Fortunately, it is an elite level, and the crit has become an epic level. If this is an ordinary level, and the final crit becomes an emperor level, Qin Yi will be really uncomfortable. Lame Li and Akasha are not bad and both have their specific features. But if there is a mediocre emperor level, for Qin Yi, there is really no improvement. The main thing is that there is no help for his level 20 rating. As Qin Yi opened the recruitment book, "Where's my sister? Wait, my sister." It was accompanied by the soft voice of a young girl. A girl in a long snow-white dress walked out of the void and appeared alone in Qin Yi's territory. The girl seemed a little bewildered. It seems to be a little afraid of unfamiliar surroundings. So beautiful. Qin Yi just glanced at it, and his eyes lit up. Snow-white long dress, black hair like waterfalls, skin like ice jade that can be broken by blowing. The facial features are exquisite and perfect, a pair of pure and watery eyes, carefully and curiously observing the surrounding. Compared with the little fox Daji, this girl has a completely different style. Although Su Daji is still young, but it is already a stature and appearance at the level of disaster for the country and the people, and it has a fatal captivate for any man. After all, she was born an Nettles fox. And this little Zhou in front of him is pure and weak, which makes people feel a desire to protect. Qin Yi checked the attendant attribute. Servant. Flower of Bingdi Xiaoqiao. Grade. Epic grade. Open black lens bracket. Grade 1. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Star rating. 0. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Occupation. Physician. Close black lens bracket. Trainable arms. Snow Doctor. Frozen Halo. Passive talent. When you release a skill on any ally, it will add an ice shield to the target, increase defense, and there is a chance to freeze the opponent when attacked. Close black lens bracket. Skill 1. Snow of Tianshan. Summons Icarus in an area and continuously heals allies in the area. Close black lens bracket. Subsequent skills to be unlocked. Battle attribute. HP 800, attack 136, defense 50. It's actually Doctor. Qin Yi was a little surprised for a while. He really didn't expect that this little Zhou, who was shaped by the dark world, would actually be a doctor, and he was still such a weak and introverted character. Originally, he thought that the Doctors Association was an old senior like Watuo and BNK. Result. Is it a pretty girl? As an epic squire, this Earl Dervish attribute is not bad. The blood volume and defense are a little higher than the epic Xiao Daji at that time. Only the attack is worse than Xiao Daji. Qin Yi is quite satisfied with this attribute. As a doctor, you need to survive in order to milk people. HP and defense are on the high side, which is normal. And Su Daji is a mage. Mage. As long as the attack is high enough, it is enough to instantly kill rival. My sister, didn't you come? At this time, the pure and weak snow-white girl Xiaoqiao looked around timidly, but didn't see her sister, which made her a little nervous. I also wanted to call your sister over, but unfortunately the recruitment letter didn't give me a chance. Why don't you call your sister here if I don't give you this recruitment book? Qin Yi said jokingly. Lord. Xiaoqiao looked at Qin Yi and was a little nervous, but she still mustered up her courage and said, servants. Attendants are not allowed to use the recruitment book. Qin Yi looked at her serious look. Do you think this girl is funny? Come here. Qin Yi waved at her. Don't worry, although there is no elder sister, but with me here, no one in our territory dares to bully you. By the way, I'll recruit a few soldiers first, and you can bring them over to train as medical girls. Question mark, question mark, question mark. Soldiers, civilians, and other attendants around Qinyi. They were all dumbfounded. No one dares to bully her. You, the Lord, were the first to bully her, and you asked people to train medical girls just now. Are you treating her like a drudge? This Lord is really terrible. Also at this time, a few happy and a few sad. Qinyi recruited legendary and epic attendants, one with cavalry and one with physician, and their overall potential has soared. And just 4 blocks away from his Earl Dervish territory, there is a new lord of the Western Federation, and he is completely plunged into deep self-doubt. Why so bad luck? Sunday dog. Since the Blue Star Eastern Federation is the largest country in the world, Oriental dialect is the universal language. In countries such as the Western Commonwealth, the North Union, the South Island, and the African countries, some young people like to add a few Oriental words to their speech, which they think is very fashionable. At this time, on this new lord of the Western Federation, there are quite a few dark creatures chasing his civilians and soldiers. The lord couldn't figure it out anyway. Why are there general-level dark creatures on his territory? This is too outrageous. He is just a new lord who has only entered the dark world for less than a day. As a result, a general-level dark creature has been refreshed on the edge of darkness, and it has brought some small monsters, almost slaughtering his men. Of course he didn't know. This is so because just 4 blocks away from him, Qinyi kept putting dark bait and killing a lot of dark creatures. Causes the nearby dark energy to persist for a long time. In this case, not only Qinyi and Lin Mengyu's territory, the territories of other surrounding lords, there will also be a higher probability of spawning dark creatures with grades. Certainly, the blonde young lord of the Western Federation directly ushered in a general-level dark creature, which is indeed a bit unlucky. No, it should be utterly unlucky. It was a complete disaster. I hope everyone will support it and subscribe more.